Where is everyone? Oh, maybe they're outside. Hey, look at this, a big knife! Aha! The right size, the right shape, and it's all shiny. Jake! Jake!
Oh no, Jake!
What's the matter? What have I done?
What are you doing, Jake?
The Tweenies. Everybody remembers the Tweenies, right? If you grew up in the UK in the early 2000s especially, you are probably aware of Bella, Fizz, Milo and Jake, the playgroup they attended, all the antics they got up to. They were everywhere in the early years of the new millennium. They were so prolific, in fact, they made hundreds of episodes in the span of just a few years, but did you know they also made a series of spin-off shorts called Be Safe with the Tweenies? Now, like any children's educational thing, this was looking at things that obviously to us adults are really common sense. Well, to most of you anyway. And just educating children on how to be safe with those things. It's all the basics like being safe around electricity, being safe around matches. 26 of these 5-minute shorts were made, but did you know one of them, for the longest time, was considered lost media? That's right, a show as prolific as the Tweenies, you know, that has become one of the UK's biggest cultural exports for preschool children in the last 20 years, had lost media. And that, in fact, is one episode of this Be Safe series, which centered around knives. Because, you know, if I want to educate myself or my children on what to be safe around, I'm going to get the Tweenies to teach them about knives. As I said, this was lost for a long time because it was apparently banned from being broadcast. So as far as I'm aware, this never made it to air because this series ran between 2002 and 2009. And throughout all of that time, the Knives installment never actually aired. However, it has resurfaced on the internet. We have to give props to Galaxy Vault 2, who's uploaded the full 5-minute episode onto YouTube. So what I thought we'd do, because we like a bit of lost media on this channel, I thought, let's watch this together and just see how the Tweenies can educate us on how to be safe around knives. I've got to say, anytime any children's thing says,
It's cool to be safe, guys. It's so cool.
it automatically becomes uncool, and I think even your 5-year-old could tell you that.
Have fun and play safe with the Tweenies. Be safe with the Tweenies. Knives.
He says it so positively. Let's just, can we run that back? One more time, please, Jake. One more time.
Be safe with the Tweenies. Knives.
Just to get you really excited for the day. So as you can see, it begins with the Tweenies up to their normal antics. They're putting on a play about the King Arthur story. Milo's King Arthur because, of course, he is.
You are the King of England.
Yay! King Arthur Rooney!
The end.
Well done!
Well done, everyone. That was splendid.
Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo, says Doodles. Bravo. Clearly, Oscar performances in the making.
Huey, I'm back from the dentist.
He came back from the dentist. That boy is way too happy about coming back from the dentist. Do you remember what it was like? You remember the trauma? So he finally comes back to the playgroup and Milo says, don't worry, mate, we're going to do the play again and all that. He begins to explain the whole story of King Arthur.
We're knights from the olden days! It's our job to fight monsters! Watch me do battle with this scary one-legged creature with loads of eyes.
Okay, yeah, go on. Oh, yeah.
Hey, I tolerate a lot of stuff, okay? A lot of stuff in children's TV. But don't you dare come after the Tweenie clock. That thing is the gospel. It's sacred.
Can I have a go, Milo?
Of course you can, Jake.
Oh, great.
Get yourself a sword.
But I couldn't find one in the toy box. Can't I borrow yours?
Oh, sorry, mate. No. This sword can only be used by the true King Arthur. And that's me.
Oh, shut up, Milo, man. He was always like this, wasn't he?
This can only be used by me. It's mine. It's me.
He was, let's face it, he was that child. We all know the one.
Maxie, where are you?
Whoa, hang on a minute. Is this a kitchen? I swear in the main Tweenies TV series, we never saw the kitchen, or at least I don't remember seeing the kitchen. This is like a whole new room. It's an expansion to the law.
Now, what would make a good pretend sword? This fly ring pan's got a handle. Oh, but it's too big. Oh, what about this wooden spoon? Oh, it's the right size. Oh, but it's the wrong shape.
Go with the spoon, Jake. Go with the spoon.
Oh, what else is there? Hey, look at this! A big knife! Ah! The right size, the right shape. Oh, and it's all shiny, like a real sword. Just what I want.
There's something, I know this is the whole point of the whole short, but something about Jake from the Tweenies, a character who's meant to be like, what, 3 years old, waving a knife around saying how cool and shiny it is it's quite disturbing. Maybe the BBC were right to not let this broadcast.
What are you doing, Milo?
Fighting this monster!
Of course, Bella came in with that snide turn. Wasn't Bella? She was awful, wasn't she? She had that snarkiness about her, and that's why, like, you know, Fizz is clearly the best one. She is the best one. There's a reason why I've had a Dolliver since I was 4 years old, because she's the best. She's the only one who had her own standalone DVD and VHS release. None of the other characters got that. Just saying.
Hi.
Jake!
Oh no, Jake!
What's the matter? What have I done?
What are you doing, Jake? Put the knife down. That's not a toy.
Put it down! Put it down! Put it down right now!
I love the level of fear they all have when he comes in. Even Doodles is getting in on the action, being like, "Whoa, Jake, man, Jake, just that's a knife. Put the knife down, Jake." Why do I sound like discount Scooby-Doo doing that? Jesus. Despite the fact that Jake, yes, he's meant to be like 3, and the others are, I think, like meant to be 4, so there's only like a year or less than a year's difference. Yet they're all very clearly aware of the present danger here. Judy can't believe it either. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to call the police. We're gonna have to call the police."
What have I done?
What are you doing, Jake? Put the knife down. That's not a toy.
It's literally like police investigation. Put the knife down, Jake. Just no one will get hurt. Just put the knife down and give the money back. She also like has her suspicions, doesn't she? She's like, "Jake, what are you doing with that?" So we head back to the kitchen, and Judy, you know, doesn't quite reprimand him, just knows that he was a bit innocent, and starts explaining why knives are dangerous. The sharp bit, the bit that will hurt. And you know, some of you might say, "Oh, come on, this is like super obvious even for kids," but you know, I'm sure for really little kids who genuinely aren't aware, this is probably a good message to tell.
I'll put it back in here out of harm's way.
Well,
Whoa! What is that? Maybe it's just... Did that go out of fashion? I have never seen a chopping board where you can slide the knife into it like that. It's not exactly safe, though. You know, considering this is a playgroup where, for some reason, the children are allowed to roam in the kitchen. I'm pretty sure these days that violates all kinds of, like, child safety protection or health and safety. But in this universe, they can just roam in the kitchen. You want a sandwich?
Go and make one yourself.
Well, I promise never to touch a knife again, Judy.
And then he turned to a life of crime. God damn it, Jake. God damn it!
You can have my sword now. I don't think King Arthur needs one.
I don't think King Arthur needs his... Yes, the sword in the stone. It doesn't need one. Doesn't need the sword.
It's fun to play with your friends every day. You want to make it last forever. But keep in your head what the Tweenies said. Then we'll all play safe together. Yes, we'll all play safe together.
Knives! 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 Knives!
What? Why are we're singing about knives with the most upbeat, you know, sounding production ever.
Knives! Knives! Knives!
What?
Knives, 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 knives.
Be safe for the rest of your lives.
Oh, I can't.
Knives are all shiny, they look really cool.
For the record, they are really shiny. They're not cool.
But don't be mistaken, don't you be fooled.
Knives are sharp and not for play. Leave them alone.
The way he waves that in, he's like, "I'm gonna kill you all."
To play with your friends every day, and we'll all play safe together.
And so it ends. And I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I get what this was going for. It's just trying to teach a lesson about not to play with knives, not to play with, I guess, sharp objects generally. But the execution of this is just hilarious, and I know I'm watching this from the standpoint of an adult. Leaving knives around, yes, adults do that, but you shouldn't. If this is meant to be a proper playgroup, you know, you don't let the tots you're looking after wander in the kitchen. Was that Max? Is that why Max didn't appear in this episode? Was that you, Max? But yeah, I mean, this was 2002, times were different, and, you know, as I said, it's claimed that it wasn't allowed to air because of the, well, just the mere presence of knives. They maybe thought that kids might be inspired to grab one themselves, because I guess in that sense, you know, using it as a sword, the point is made that they are shiny, they are sharp, just like a sword is, but yeah, for whatever reason, this wasn't broadcast back in 2002. But I'm glad it's no longer lost media. Again, props to Galaxy Vault 2 for uploading this to YouTube. It's increasingly hard to preserve lost media of any kind over the past, you know, 50 or so years, or television's history. So even when we get these little glimmers through things like this with Be Safe with the Tweenies, that's a win for the preservationists, absolutely. So yeah, what a whirlwind that was. Well, I hope we've all learned now that we have to be safe around knives. And if I catch you waving that knife around, I'm not just going to call the police. I'm going to take that knife off you and put it back into the chopping board, just like any self-respecting adult should. The Teletubbies. Oh god, the Teletubbies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Over the hills and far away, Adam's sanity slips further away.
I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the Teletubbies. Like the Tweenies, it was this big phenomenon, particularly towards the end of the 1990s. These four beings were everywhere. Toys, all kinds of merchandise. The Teletubbies had a #1 single. Do you have a #1 single? Yeah, that's right, I didn't think you did. And if you do, well, then this is a little bit awkward. But the Teletubbies, right from the beginning, weren't without their fair share of controversy. A lot of people, parents, doctors took issue with the way they spoke, you know, their language.
Say,
Sure, they spoke in a very infantile way, but apparently these four are meant to be like these weird versions of babies. And knowing that and then looking at them just makes me feel even more freaked out than I ever was before. But you know the drill with these. They run around these fields in their base, this Tubbytronic Superdome, which is the official name apparently, look it up. But it wasn't just the speech that was the issue. There was one particular segment that was so scary, so horrifying, that it was not only banned in the UK, but it was banned in several other countries around the world. And that segment is, of course, known as The Lion and the Bear. Now, if you've been around the internet and around, you know, banned media or controversial media, I'm sure you've at least heard of The Lion and the Bear, and you've probably seen them. But what was it about this segment that was so controversial, that was so heinous, so frightening that it made it banned around multiple countries? Well, you probably guessed it. We're going to watch The Lion and the Bear clip, and we're just going to find out what was so scary. So we see the Teletubbies mooching around before they stop, and this very ominous music plays. That is the most eerie uh-oh in existence. Now, they'd say this all the time, but the way they look at the camera and the music that's playing, this ominous music, it's like,
uh-oh, we're about to be killed.
It's the bear, and I'm coming.
Before you start,
don't. This is a show for toddlers. I know what you're thinking. And don't go there. So they run away in fear that the bear is coming.
stop it.
Get some help.
I'm the bear, and I'm coming.
God, stop saying it, please.
The immature side of my brain can't take this.
This drum roll goes on forever. Just get to the point.
I'm the bear. I'm the bear. With brown, fuzzy hair.
What on earth is that? A bear? A bear? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to go to Specsavers? This contraption doesn't walk. It rolls about on like a modified skateboard with wheels. And what was that description?
With brown, fuzzy hair.
Brown fuzzy hair. Hair that's made out of a material known as wood. What is fuzzy about that? That does not look fuzzy. That does not indicate fuzzy. And stop staring at me like that, please. Just stop. Was that? No way did they CG that. That looks so off. They just showed it running about the hills, and yet you put this clumsily shot thing here.
Please tell me there's more.
Oh, there's more.
I'll hide over here. And I'll hide over there. Can you see me?
Least intimidating, but
I'm the bear. I'm the bear. With brown fuzzy hair.
Would you like tea and scones?
so the scary factor so far, like, it's more the design of it, because it's clearly not a bear with brown fuzzy hair. It's a wooden contraption that looks like it's going to fall apart with a death stare.
And I know a joke.
I know a joke. All right, let's see what comedy the bear has to offer. That was the joke? Hey everybody, I'm going to tell you a joke. Are you ready for this? Well, the Teletubbies seem to like it, but I mean, looking at these creatures, you could probably, literally spontaneously combust around them and they'd laugh. Okay, the music is pretty ominous for a show like this, I will give you that.
Oh, the lion's coming.
Oh,
Get on with it.
I am the scary lion.
oh, it's even worse than the bear. Just look at this thing, right, from a distance. It's on this same skateboard again. The fact these things are on wheels cracks me up no end.
With big, scary teeth.
Oh, no, don't like that shot. No, go back to the wide shot, please. No more close-ups.
I'm the scary lion who also needs a lemsip.
Why do I sound like Yoda?
With big, scary teeth.
So you're telling me that was the reaction of like all the people watching this back in the day?
I'm scary on the top, and I'm scary underneath.
And just what do you mean by that? You know what? Stop it. Don't go there. We talked about this. Do not go there.
I'm scary around the front, and I'm scary around the back.
Why? What are these lines? I'm scary around the front and scary around the back. Why do you pick the close-up for him to say that, by the way?
I'm scary round the front, and I'm scary round the back. Get in my van!
I'm more creeped out than scared, to be honest with you. Why is this wooden contraption where I can see some of the nails bolted into its face trying to tell me that it's scary round the front and scary round the back? I'm genuinely amazed in that shot that the tail didn't just drop off right there. That would have been scary. Oh, he's on the move. He's being pulled along by that wire really jaggedly. So I guess he's looking for the bear, which he can't find because he's a bit senile.
But I don't know where.
I love how the Teletubbies are just enthralled, like they're sat in the Colosseum watching the gladiators fight.
Where's the bear? Where's the bear?
Okay, I really don't like that shot. A close-up, full-on center. This this thing staring at you, staring into your soul. I can see, especially since this is aimed at toddlers, I can see why anyone between the age of like 1 and 4 would have been absolutely bricking it right now.
There's the bear.
So the bear reveals itself, and then they begin this really like awkward, fumbly chase, if you can call it that, around these hills. All the bear can do whilst it's running is go. There's not really much more to say. They chase each other off screen, and then the Teletubbies, who are clearly bored, get up and go on to do their next thing. So that's the lion and the bear. So, you know, is it the scariest thing you've ever seen? Probably not. I don't know. Again, the target audience, 1 to 4-year-olds, I can see why this original version might have been a little scary. You know, the fact that there's all this scary music or creepy music, the close-up shots particularly of these things, I don't like that. The voices might have creeped, you know, toddlers out, so I can see why it might have upset them and then upset their parents in tandem. But to be banned in several countries across the world seems a little excessive to me. They did try and edit this, you know, there is a different version of this where like the music's different, it's a bit more jovial, the voices or the vocal performances are a bit more jovial, everything's just a bit more upbeat. And in some countries even that version was still either censored further or banned, so they couldn't really win. But this segment has sort of developed a legend in the Teletubbies lore and amongst children's TV in general. What I love is if you go onto the Teletubbies wiki, which, yes, would you believe it, is an actual thing. When it describes the controversy, and I'm aware this is just like, you know, edited by anybody, it says, parents have made numerous complaints about the theatrical-based sketch for the age, inaccurate music, scary voices, dark tone, dialogue, and the horrifying chase sequence at the end of the sketch. Horrifying? Yeah, Teletubbies, man, what a wild ride. I mean, I don't remember watching that bit as a kid. I remember more the dancing CGI bear. Do you remember that? I wouldn't say that was freaky. That was just quite frankly bizarre. Late 90s CG was a very bizarre but yet captivating thing, wasn't it? But I don't remember this original lion and bear sequence. And yes, again, like I said, I can see why it might have upset toddlers, their parents as a result. But I think banning this or censoring it in the way they did was maybe a little bit too excessive. But if you remember one thing from this video, just remember, I'm the bear, and I'm Tommy!
And I'm scary underneath.
Ah, yes, Brum. An old favourite of mine. Brum was on in the 1990s and the early 2000s, and let me tell you something, when I say people were captivated by Brum, they were truly captivated. A little yellow remote control car, going around the streets of Birmingham, solving crimes, helping people out, getting up to all sorts of everyday life wholesome things.
I'm watching you.
Now, my peak with the show was in the 1990s. For me, the first 2 series, you can't beat them. They're great, the best they ever made. But then someone in the 2000s was like,
We're going to reignite the Brum franchise after a 7-year absence. Shall we keep it the same format? Let's change everything!
So it did come back in 2001. It had a new theme, it had a new narrator, it had a lot of new things. But what I wanted to touch upon today was something a little bit weird. Something that was apparent from the very first episode of this revival. We're going to be taking a look at Brum and the Airport. And you might be thinking,
Adam, I remember that one, and there doesn't seem to be anything too strange about that.
well, let me tell you, I'm going to set to prove you wrong. Let's get to Brum and the Airport. Right from the get-go, can you tell money's being saved? Is that the title sequence from Series 2? Are we, what was that word? Recycling? But rest assured, Brum is still the same. He's going around Birmingham, interacting with everyday life. No one seems remotely bothered by this sentient car just, going about the place. So our boy makes it to the airport for his airport adventure, and I can only assume this was filmed at Birmingham Airport because the series was filmed in Birmingham, so surely this is Birmingham Airport? Quite a busy airport, no?
That's the airport.
Oh my god, wait. Can we just acknowledge there's no like actual sign for the airport or anything like that. They've stuck 2 little cardboard flags with things that barely resemble planes on them and called it an airport.
Great work, guys. Well done to everyone.
Gee, guys, there's ominous music playing around these two. One of them is tall, and one of them is small. I wonder if they might be the bad people. I do enjoy how these two are so intimidated by this car that is literally the size of, like, it only goes up part way up their leg.
It's the big town superstar.
The big town superstar? Ah, yes. Wears sunglasses, wears gold watch and rings. Must be superstar. But she clearly knows Brum. Maybe they went for a drink one time. But then these bad people happen to have pretty much the exact same case, just a bit more battered. And they didn't get it. But they sense an opportunity coming.
Wow, jewels.
Because every big town superstar has a suitcase full to the brim with bright, shiny, plasticky jewels. They didn't even try and make them look real. To me, that just looks insanely fake. What was that? Trying to duck by the camera. You could tell man is struggling. They did not give him enough room.
Uh-oh.
Why did none of the various paparazzi or people stood around neither notice nor clock nor make aware that this was happening? So these guys were seemingly going on holiday or going somewhere.
Probably escaping the country for their numerous offences.
And they only packed a pair of pants each, which is, it's a choice.
After them, Brum.
These people in the background are like, what the hell is going on? I never thought I'd see in a show that, was aimed at, like, the under fives, that I'd see pretty much elderly abuse. So when the superstar gets hits with water, it apparently kills her? She just drops straight to the ground.
What you say? Oh, that you only meant well, 'cause you did.
Granny's got a broken back. The paparazzi here is the only survivor. Why are they all acting like turtles? They're on their backs like,
I can't get up, please help me.
You don't want that photo in the papers, do you? What is it? Scandal? Is it illegal charges? Heinous crimes? No, she's been hit with a bucket of water in him. She just can't get up. What is that? I love when they did this rebrand in 2001. They try, because I don't remember him doing this in the 90s version. They try and give him like the equivalent of an angry face, and he just. I will say though, the camera work does make this look incredibly ominous. You thought that was an inaccurate depiction of how a human on a trolley would go downstairs? Just you wait, bucko. Okay, so the robbers made it, but Brum is a car. That would be potentially disastrous. How do you, dear viewer, how do you think this vehicle will get down these stairs? Brum in this new series can, apparently fly. Can we roll that back just one more time?
Did you see that? I flew!
My man flies down the stairs, complete with a whoosh sound effect, which, no, that's cringe. Ruins it. So Brum is now apparently a superhero, which, to be fair, they tout that constantly. They do it in the theme song, in all the promotions. So Brum is Avengers tier now, right? Bags, because let's think about what didn't stop him before. Granny on a trolley didn't stop Brum. Wet floor didn't stop Brum. Stairs, can't forget about stairs. They didn't stop Brum either. But yet, bags on the floor, genius, guys. That's gonna cook him. I like how the tall one has this moment of like, oh my god, mate, we can't go in there. It says no humans. And the other one's like,
Hey, come on, mate, we gotta get out of here.
Brum has the smart noggin on because it says no humans, and he'd be like, Now, I wonder how they actually got to film in here, because I thought this was maybe like a disused airport, because even allowing camera crews in here to do stuff like this, you know, some Toy Story 2 level stuff, I'm genuinely surprised. So, we've established that Brum can fly, yet getting himself on this conveyor belt is too much. It's too unrealistic. What are you, stupid? I know it's for kids. I know. Believe me, I know. But you're telling me throughout this whole bit that these two here did not see nor hear these imbeciles floating around. Okay. All right. Whoa! Oh, that's some great camera work. Firstly, they get him in an air traffic control tower, and they do these cuts, these zooms, the most ominous shots. You see Brum like, hey, you think you can escape? Well, guess what? You're wrong. I will find you, and I will hurt you. So these two somehow board a plane unnoticed, which, again, is baffling. Everyone in Birmingham, Big Town, is clearly insanely oblivious. This pilot, you know, is super concentrated. He didn't notice that two people somehow snuck into the cockpit and sat behind him, chuckling away. The tall one's like,
Yeah, we're gonna escape. We're gonna flee to Panama to avoid taxes.
And the other one's like,
Keep it down, mate, keep it down. We're not supposed to be here. There's someone sat literally 2 feet away from us.
So it seems like the baddies have won. They're on the plane. The plane's about to go on the runway to take off. What can Brum, I'll stress again, what can Brum, this tiny yellow remote control car, do about it? What do you think? Are you ready?
What are you gonna do, Brum?
For the most insane, most illogical, most physics-breaking scene of your entire life, I hope you are, because here it comes.
Did you see that? Do you want to see it again? This tiny remote control car against a plane, an aeroplane, moving down the runway to take off, or at least taxiing to the runway to take off at full pelt. And this car, this small yellow remote control children's character, is able to outpace, I tell you, outpace this aeroplane at dizzying speeds. Even the baddies are shocked, like they go, oh my god, mate, look, he's going so fast. So Brum is able to get in front of the plane, and the plane stops and screeches like a car.
Because of course it would!
And it's only now that the pilot's like, what? There's people? And the two luggage people are like, oh my god, we're gonna lose our jobs. So the luggage people are unable to grab them for reasons, and they are only stopped because Brum circles them, pulls his somewhat angry face, revs his engine, and that's it. They are beaten into submission. They can't, you know,
Oh, mate, we're gonna get away. Whoa, the car got in front of us. It revved its engine. It made a noise at me. Ah.
Got you.
Ah.
That's a meme if I ever saw one.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
So sure enough, Brum has returned the jewels from Blackpool Pleasure Beach and saved the day. But if you thought that episode was balmy, we haven't even touched the best bit yet. Have you forgotten about the closing theme? This is the most like early 2000s sounding beat ever. It's corny, it's cringy, there's lots of madness going on. But you know what? I'm here for it. Everyone here is clearly going for it, having a great time. Brum's just lapping it up. When I said he didn't want all the praise, I stand corrected. This is his reward.
Every single time.
You got to remember in the 90s, like the closing theme was just like a nice little arrangement, you know, nothing too out there. It was just really sweet, you know, summed everything up. And now we've got this full-on pop song to send us out. It's balmy, man. Aw, God love this show. And then we cut back to stock footage because surely the children won't notice the difference. Brum returns home, and that is the end of the episode. Oh boy! So the airport adventure, you know, it's a fun time. It relaunched Brum for the new millennium, for a whole new generation of children then. And you know what? As much as people like to dog on these later two seasons, they still hold a lot of charm. I think at their heart, they still hold the core of what like Brum was about and the message it tried to get across and the themes it tried to get across. Did they make it like infinitely more cringy and more silly than they needed to? If you haven't figured it out by now, the answer's
yes.
I mean, I just found this weird, you know, the fact that Brum can fly, can outpace, you know, an aeroplane. And yes, I know it's a show for the under fives. I get that. But if you've not learnt when we've looked at stuff like this, it's fun to make some jokes about it. That's right, we're talking about Pingu, baby. We all remember Pingu, our favourite penguin, a childhood favourite from the 1990s and 2000s. And let me tell you, when I was a tot, I used to love this show. I adored it. Probably a mix of the fact that, you know, penguins who doesn't love penguins? And also with it being languageless, you know, you can just enjoy it for what it is. You can understand what's going on without the use of English or any other language, as a matter of fact. Now, Pingu is a very popular show. It originally ran between 1990 and 2000. It gained massive popularity outside of Switzerland, where it was originally made and shown, particularly here in the UK, but also in Japan. And by the way, the Japanese love Pingu. But today, I wanted to talk about an episode of Pingu that many of you have requested that I discuss, but also one that I don't remember seeing as a kid. Let me tell you, when I researched this was pretty terrifying. We're going to be talking about the episode Pingu's Dream. Now, this originally aired as part of the very first series all the way back in June of 1990, and we're going to blitz through it. And let me tell you something right now, a little warning, as it were. If you don't know why Pingu's Dream is so revered for being so terrifying and so scary, well, you're about to find out. There's something so simple about that early intro for Pingu. I know probably a lot of you are more familiar with this one. So Pingu is getting ready for bed. His mother is reading him a bedtime story. And right from the get-go, can we just appreciate the craft that goes into this show? This is clearly made with, you know, claymation, a form of stop-motion animation. The fact that each one of these frames would have had to be photographed and planned out. This takes a lot of time, and despite the fact they're only 5-minute episodes, it would have taken these animators, these creatives, so long to get this done. And I always think this looks much better than any sort of form of CGI, or for me personally, because I think you know the fact that it's real. Those are real models being moved around there. But anyway, back to the story. Pingu gets off soundly to sleep after his mum reads him the story, and he lists off into what is hopefully a peaceful night's rest. Can I just say, if this happened to, like, my house, I'd probably sleep through it too. Can we just talk about Pingu's room here? The man has a bed. The covers are far too long. They're going to get so dirty down there on the floor. A bedside table with nothing on it, which is just very bizarre. The most oddly designed chair in existence. And also a wardrobe. But from what I remember in all of Pingu, like, he doesn't wear any clothes. So what's in that wardrobe, man? What are you hiding, Pingu? What are you not telling us? Pingu, man, you shouldn't have had that. You shouldn't have had that fish at the dinner table. I told you it was all a bit wrong, bro. I love the music that plays when the igloo flies away. It's so, like, synthy and eerie. I definitely thought it was spiraling away to be blown up or something like that. God, this is just prime for one of those, the old school MLG edits. Does anyone remember the old MLG edits of Pingu, by the way? Those were good times, man. Good times. Hey, he did the thing! Pingu's Newt Newt catchphrase. Apparently on the old Pingu trivia website, it claimed it was new. But that's an entirely different character. Completely different from a completely different show we also touched on, but we don't talk about that. So now that he's, you know, practically homeless, his bed starts coming alive. And I've got to say, I really do like the effects here of the bed sort of stretching out and growing taller and smaller and all that. It looks really nice, and the fact it's all in claymation stop motion just enhances it. It's also just quite... There's something really funny and charming about this. And it starts walking forwards. The bed is sentient, people. It's sentient. God, I've had enough trauma from sentient things in my childhood. But you might be thinking so far, Adam, you know, this is all well and good, typical Pingu episode, but what, you know, why is this so terrifying? What are you talking about? Well, we'll come into it. Keep your eyes peeled. Don't fall asleep like Pingu did. So the bed continues to sort of mess Pingu around a bit, sort of bobbing around, bending inwards and outwards. And I always love that even though the language is, Penguinese, you often wonder what he's actually saying in those moments. Oh, God.
What the fuck are you looking at?
Yeah, just, you know, this image right here, just, you know, park that, let that sink into your brain. You haven't seen nothing yet. Believe me, you haven't seen nothing yet. So the bed continues to play around with Pingu. He actually seems to be enjoying it now, but he's being watched by a rather strange friend here. Okay, I know this is a show meant for tots, but you're trying to tell me they didn't deliberately frame this guy as a villain? The fact, you know, that the creepy synth stings in the music come as he wades along, the fact he does this evil little chuckle.
Oh, he's is so weird. I don't like it.
Well, dear Lord, we're done. That is horrifying. What is that? That, dear viewer, is apparently a walrus. Now, let me just clarify. This is a walrus. This is not a walrus. What walrus do you know looks like that? And I think the fact it's the teeth. Why has it got human teeth? It's just so unnerving, and I think this is where, like, I get how claymation or stop-motion animation can make things look really creepy. Just look at the design of this creature, man. Oh, no. Even the bed's terrified. It ain't going anywhere near that guy. I don't know why that was so funny. He's just like... Boop. Don't look too closely at the teeth. Stay well away from the teeth. Hang on. Igloos are made of, like, you know, solid ice, right? No? What? Pingu would be just like a musical instrument or something, the way he'd be plopping down. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Show some respect. Show some respect to my boy Pingu. Why would you do this? Now, obviously, this is Pingu's dream. That's probably why these things are happening. But look at his face. Look at how terrified he is that this demon from hell is stretching him out like some sort of torture device. I don't like the laugh, man. I've heard eviler laughs, but it's just the fact that the mouth's wide open, the teeth, and the snort. No, please, stop it. So the bed desperately tries to get away, and the walrus is like, nope. And then it proceeds to take the mattress and eat it like a chocolate bar. The bed and Pingu begin scurrying away, but Pingu slips. Sorry, what was that noise? Can we have that one more time? But Pingu realizes he is back in his room, in his bedroom, and it was all just a dream.
More like a nightmare.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but if your child has a nightmare, I didn't think the first reaction would be to be like, oh, son, you need to stop doing this, you silly goose. So Pingu's mother consoles him. He's very upset. He's had his nightmare. But all is well. The walrus isn't real.
Or is it?
Pingu's Dream is a rather odd episode of kids' TV in that the ban that was placed on it supposedly wasn't official. It was more of an unofficial ban. It was aired originally, but it was removed from British TV towards the early 2000s. It did show over in America, for example, but to find like the original version of it was scarce for quite a while before, you know, YouTube and social media existed. It's become a staple of people's childhoods, like their childhood nightmares, ironically, with this being Pingu's Dream. It's the walrus, man. Why is it like that? Why did they design it like that? The human teeth, the creepy synth music, the fact it spends most of its time evilly laughing and shaking its head like it's absolutely futile. There's nothing Pingu can do. He's gonna die, man. He's gonna die. Again, I didn't remember seeing this episode when I was a kid. Probably if it didn't get much, you know, traction on VHS and stuff like that, I wouldn't have seen it. But by God, if I'd have seen this, I would have had nightmares. I would have seen this in my nightmares, and I'm sure many children did too. It just goes to show that how many, like, classic kid shows we remember from our past have some really disturbing elements in them. Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Sean Knock, Dord Khan, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Liam Domain, AJ Mac 200017, Jen, Traffy, Mr. Eurovision 1986, Evan Hart 42 Radio, Tim Ripley, 40-something Manchild, Mr. J McLeod, James Wallace, Ben, Stephen Oliver, Shadowfiend180X, Swan Ronson, Adam Gamer, Sir Fonzie Daz, Matthew Elif, Pigeon's House, Seraphic Euphoria, Dave Batten, Kevin Mallon, Shah H, Liam Turner, Real Team Foxy Plays, Jenny T, Lovely Dave and Gem, Tyler McLean 316, NJ on DT84, Jimmy the Bantam, and the Macabre Tavern are AMTV staff members.